Hey, everybody, it's Jane Bond, and I'm here today for another great episode of Unpack Your Life. And I'm with a special guest, Lisa Chastain. And I love it, guys. She's going to teach you guys how to budget your money properly. So you better listen clearly because this lady, she got a lot of stuff to say. Let me tell you, before this is over, I want you all to go to her website and take her test. It's a great test. You won't get stuck. It's only 5 minutes, and it's a great test, guys. Hey, Lisa.
Hi,
How are
Jane.
you?
I'm phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah.
What did you tell the audience about yourself and where you're from?
Okay, so I'm a Vegas kid, born and raised, blue-collared roots. My dad's a stagehand by trade. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. And so I grew up what you would think Vegas, you see the strip and it's a certain way, but once you get off the strip, it's pretty country. And I grew up on a dirt road. I am a Vegas graduate. I'm a UNLV graduate. I still live in Las Vegas. We've come so far in the last 30 years. I did not grow up in a hotel like most people think you would. But so today I'm on a mission to help women elevate their financial lives. I actually don't teach budgeting.
Mm.
I don't think budgets work. I'm on a
Okay.
mission to teach cash flow management and wealth building for women in a new way.
So, guys, this is the grown up version, right?
Yeah,
So, we're going to take that budgeting out and we're going to enjoy ourselves by understanding what it means to manage our money.
that's right. Manage
Okay.
and build. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's fantastic. So tell me a little bit about the $30,000, the question that was, posed to you, and all of a sudden you were like, boom, the light
Light
bulbs
bulb.
came on for you.
Yeah. So my dad never made more than $60,000 a year. When I was the director of advising for the Honors College at UNLV at the age of 31, I really thought that I had made it. I had a house, I had a kid, I had a beautiful diamond ring, I had all the things. I got married at 25. I was just checking things off the list. And so when I had this, what I thought amazing career at the age of 31, making $56,000 a year, I had met my first my own glass ceiling in life. Right. I was the one limiting myself, but that was the life that I grew up in.
Right.
So
But
when I,
when we grow up, this is a tradition for us too, in a certain way. We don't know any other way to think. Someone lays the foundation, and we pretty much think it's our GPS
it
until
is
we know that.
exactly. And being a trainer in neurolinguistic programming, this is exactly how it happens. At the very young age, before the age of 7, the world around us imprints into us. It literally becomes our hard wiring in our brains. And it wasn't until I was much older, after my major meltdown in life, that I started challenging beliefs that weren't serving me anymore. And so the story of $30,000, I had a life coach. I was a financial advisor at the time, and my life coach asked me, yeah, right. I became a financial advisor to have unlimited earning potential. When she asked me what I wanted to make in my first year, I said $30,000.
Wait a minute. What year was that, Lisa?
2014.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting because that's not that long ago that you felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I was so limited. I left my career at UNLV believing that my husband was the one with unlimited earning potential. It wasn't going to be me. And this is the script that was written for me from a very young age. And again,
Yeah.
I had challenged a lot about what my parents wanted for me and subscribed to me, but my earning potential was something that I had never challenged and I had never dreamed big enough. So it wasn't until I actually left my financial firm and went out on my own as a business owner that I started to realize my own potential, and it was game on from there.
In your own worth. But don't you find that that's across the board with us when it comes to family and tradition? We're told that about marriage. We're told that about the husband we're supposed to meet. We're told that about the school we're supposed to go, religion, politics,
All of it.
all the way across the board until you get old enough to make your own decisions. And also, in the interim of that, you're with friends that don't have that same tradition. And you're looking at them going, well, wow, wait a minute. But you have to deal with your foundation that you had, which is your parents.
Hmm.
And that's what you go by because
Hmm.
these outside influences, that's exactly what they are. They are until you take them on.
They
So
are.
I think not only being younger at being 31, because 31 is fairly young still. We're still kind of looking back for support
Yeah.
from our parents and everything. We're just getting out of college. I was talking to
Yeah.
someone the other day and I was like, for someone to ask the young person when they're 17, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to be in life? Well, I don't know. We don't know
Yeah.
anything about life. We're leaning on you. So that's where all that comes from. It's a culmination of all of that.
Hmm.
I even have a friend now today who's pretty much, if you look at everything that he has accumulated, is pretty much wealthy. But he thinks he's not
Yeah.
wealthy the way he spends his money. Now, when I read your, I said, I need to really tune him into this because he really believes in what he was taught
Hmm.
when it's over. And I say to him, but you're not poor anymore. Don't you understand that? And he goes, no, I will always be poor, Jay.
Yep.
And that's something that's taught to you.
Yep.
That's something that's ingrained in you, as you said.
It's unconsciously embedded into your identity. You don't
Absolutely.
even know it's there.
Until something comes about. And I take my hat off to you. You are one, you have threw the whole script out. You're rewriting those chapters that don't serve you. And you wrote a whole new chapter in your life. And I think that's fantastic.
Thank
And I
you.
think it's unbelievable that you're targeting just women because I lived in Naples 16 years. And some of the women I met, some of the things they would tell me, like if I got divorced, I wouldn't even know how to write a check.
Hmm.
That was like,
Hmm. What
I
do you do
grew
with
up
that?
in a family where my mother always told me to always consider the source, no matter what it is husband, wife, child, consider the source. And if the source makes sense to you because of their background and what they've done in their life, then that's advice that you could take. If it doesn't, if that source hasn't done anything to help support this thought, then
Hmm.
let it go. Then let it go. And that's
Hmm.
what I've done most of my life. But parallel, I'm after what you said you went through, the breakdown. I call it the breakdown before the breakthrough
Yes.
because as women, I mean, we're very emotional beings. So we have a breakdown. We're not sure why this is happening to us, but after a certain amount of time, we understand that it was happening for us
For
and
us.
not, to us. So we have to take that on too as women. And I think that's wonderful because I think women should support each other, stick together when it comes to financial, aspects of their lives because in the past and in tradition, it was the man who won was the
Yeah.
breadwinner of the house. But now today, most of us women, we are breadwinners. Most of us aren't married or divorced. We don't think that we need that other partner to make it in life. We like to have that partner
Hmm.
because it's a wonderful thing to have, the other half of your life come together and you have your children and all because that's a part of your history too with your family. So a lot of people today don't look at things the same way as they did. And I think women around the world need a Lisa Chastain.
Thank you.
Because,
That's the mission that I'm on.
yeah, because
Hmm.
you'd be surprised some of the women you meet, strong women. I had one woman tell me that she took her paycheck home.
Yep.
I
And
was,
gave it to her husband.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
I understand he's retired and I understand he knows finance, but that doesn't mean you know nothing about how to
Right.
control your money. And
Right.
she says, well, I just let go. I don't touch it. I thought that was the weirdest thing I had ever heard in my life. Today,
Well, what I tell all of my clients when they come to me in one situation or another, typically there's guilt, there's shame, there's fear that's connected to it, and for a lot of reasons, people don't reach out. And so I've worked really hard to have my brand be accessible, and for people to know that when they come to me, they're going to be accepted for where they are.
right.
And the very first thing I say is it is not your fault because of those imprinting years, because of the way women have been socialized, because women financially have been told over and over again that we're ignorant or we're not smart enough, or we're not capable. If it's not our generation, it's the generations before us that imprinted into us. It's our ancestors, it's our genealogical history. So it's not your fault. And to your point, today in America specifically, it is 1000% your responsibility to have a new conversation about money.
100%. I don't care who you are. And I wish, I mean, like you, I went into finance. That's what my background is. Yes. It's funny. I remember when I was in school, I thought, what am I doing taking up finance? I should be doing something else. And lo and behold, it all came together.
Yeah.
It all came together because, I'm a real estate broker, agent broker, I'm an investor. All of that came crashing to my brain when got into real estate. I knew nothing
Yeah.
really, but someone said something to me, said, well, JB, you bought a house before, right? And I said, yeah. Just think about what you went through when you bought that house. What were the steps? Did you
Hmm.
finance? Did you pay cash? They walked me through the whole scenario. And I thought, oh, okay, I got this. I understand it. This is just about marketing now. And that's how it started. But it took me 4 years. I mean, I chased my tail for 4 years until I understood the business itself, and then you get the mind shift, of course. And then the systems and tools come along and you just start
Hmm.
and everything starts becoming good. Because when that light comes on, when you're really financially fit, I won't say free because that looks different to everybody.
Everybody.
Somebody else freedom could look like just paying for their children's college.
Yep.
My freedom might be bigger than my head's. So, you have to, like you said, you have to be careful with that. And I was your dreamer.
No question about it. No question about it.
You could tell from the energy and the excitement. I was your dream. I
All of
am
it.
the dreamer. Always
Yep.
have been a visionary, of a visionaire. The support is difficult sometimes because everybody doesn't see your dream the way you see it. So you have to be very careful with who you choose to go on that journey with you.
Yes.
So I understand that too. But there are so many people that are in need of your help when it comes to managing and taking care of their money. Because I think when we're 30, we think we're gonna live forever.
Yeah. Plenty of
And then
time.
yeah, when we get 50 and 60 and we look at the bank account, we're like, oh my God, I might live another 20, 30 years. And can I sustain this life
Yeah.
along with the lifestyle, depending on your lifestyle?
That's right.
So, yeah, having no ceiling is amazing. And I think most women should look at business that
Agreed. I just read a report. I follow age and timeline because of the work that I do with my clients.
way.
And I just read a report that this generation, millennials and younger, could live to be 120 years old.
I read that report. Yes.
Okay. So if we're going to live way longer, my family lives a long time. So I already know I'm going to be 90. I already know I'm going to be 100. My family lives forever. So lucky me, I guess. But women outlive our husbands also. And we are going to need a lot more money
Yes.
than
We
any other
spend
generation.
much more than men, depending on the man, but overall, in general, women, we spend much more. We're the carers. We take care of people, so we have to spend much more. But
Yeah.
that article, yes, I remember that article. And not only that, I was speaking to another woman who was a real estate agent, very senior to me, and she was saying, Jay, the men are, passing much earlier than the women, and the families are passing their money down to women mostly because the women are the ones who have everything together today.
Yep.
And they're the ones that are going to end up with the money of the world.
The largest wealth transfer is about to happen before 2030. $30 trillion is going to be passed down to women this decade.
Let
30
us be in
trillion.
that line, please.
I'm in. And because women spend 85% of the world's wealth,
Mhm.
we need to rewire ourselves to hold on to that wealth. Otherwise, it'll run through our fingers because we have
Right.
been trained and programmed to spend it. If you look at how media and how different channels market to women versus men when it comes to money, It's much different. And so, women, we get to be, which is what this podcast is about, what your world is about, what my world is about. We must confront our limiting beliefs and conversations when it comes to money so that we can become the leaders of the world financially.
And definitely rewrite the chapters because we don't own them. Anything that has been written before can be thrown out. It's taking that step to shift and pivot and understand that you can go in another direction and be healthy financially. And let's talk about mental awareness too with that, because
Yeah,
along with that comes mental awareness.
it
Yes.
does.
Yeah. How important was it for you to realize that you had to unpack your life and live authentically?
I was in so much pain, Jane. I was in so much pain of living someone else's life. I had results all around me, actually lack of results all around me. I was failing. I was failing in my marriage. I was drinking too much. I was unhappy. I wasn't making any money and I was stuck. And so it was in that moment in time where I was forced to confront from a responsible conversation, because for a long time I was blaming my dad, I was blaming my mom, I was blaming my sister, I was blaming my husband, I was blaming everybody.
And it's scary to confront yourself and say, well, maybe it's me. I'm not happy.
What else is there?
Maybe it's me, but it's not easy to look in the mirror and
No.
mirror yourself. You have to have other people help you. And you did discuss that later. We're going to talk about that too. But
Okay.
it's not easy. I was right there. It took me 5 years. And the pain, the silence, oh God, I think about it. I just couldn't do it. I said, it's either me or them.
Yeah.
So how do you do this, Jane? When did it, no one ever told me it would come down to me or the person that I cared the most for. And how do you break that? And try,
Oh,
you can't, it's broken,
yeah.
and you can't fix it. And some people think you can, but you can't fix it because there's so much behind it, you know. And it's not even about disrespect and other, arguments and things like that. I think it's more about self-worth
Mm-hmm.
and going inside and fixing what's inside, because you can't fix anybody unless you fix yourself first. And no one can help you do that. I mean, you can have a support system, and that's my next question to you. How did you take on your support system to help you free yourself of all this? Because without support,
What do
I
you
mean, we
have?
can't do this alone. We can't do
Going through,
anything alone anyway.
yeah, and I'll say I don't believe in the word self-made for that reason.
Nobody's self-made. Nobody's an island. You can forget it. You need somebody. I don't care if it's a virtual assistant. You need somebody.
Yeah, a lot of people. So when I read articles about self-made anyone, I'm like, yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. There's no self-made anyone. We do things with tribes, we do things with people, and women, we thrive in community. So the people that I thought that would support me through my divorce were not the people. My parents, my family, my best friends did not support me. My husband had been in my life for 16 years. Everyone thought I was the problem. So I risked it all because I said, I'm done with this. I'm done with you. I'm done with all of this bullshit. And I had to risk literally all of those relationships. Many did not follow through to this part of my life with me. I have, in some ways, rehabilitated my relationship with my family. But when it came to support, the first person I hired was a coach. I said, teach me how to make money. And she had a community of other women who were also in the same learning curve, same experience of life. And we bonded together, trauma bonded, if you call it, whatever you call it.
Sounds good to me.
We needed each other. We needed each other to move forward and accelerate. And I've continued to grow and elevate into different communities and get new friends.
Right.
And it sucked. It super sucked. And it was eye-opening, and it was a huge awakening, to the extent that when I chose to write my book, my whole family was like, we don't talk about these things. This is not okay.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of pushback and a lot of edginess. And I am who I am today because of that. And I have the voice that I have today because of that. I had to walk through all of that darkness and shed all of those layers and wake up every single day in a fight for my life, first and foremost.
Good for you for unpacking all that shit because sometimes
Yep.
it can bog you down and you forget who you are. So good for you.
Mhm.
And it's hard when you don't have the support from the people you think are going to be there for you. Like when I showed up, everybody was surprised. I just showed up back home. They were like, "What are you doing here?"
Wow.
Like, I left. What do you want?
Yeah,
When there's nothing else and it's about saving yourself, and you have to be strong to even save yourself. It took me 5 years. It takes a while.
it does.
And then the pandemic kicked me in the ass for 3 years. I couldn't do anything. Nobody wanted me. I couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't go to
Yeah.
Italy, even go to Germany. It was like, no, stay there. So I was like, okay, so here I am. Now what am I gonna do? Do I stay? Yeah, that was really hard. I'm just gonna be very transparent. I would have never been able to do this podcast if I didn't unpack my life because that's what it's
Mhm.
called. I had to go through it. I'm still going through it and understanding it and trying to free myself of guilt,
Mhm.
and that's not easy to do. And I figured maybe this would help just going through it with other women, finding that tribe, even men, understanding and having them understand that sometimes we have to unpack frequently to just get on the same page, because showing up not your authentic self is the worst thing you can do today.
It's the worst.
People are gonna call you out on it, whether it's in business, a relationship, a friendship, and I'm
Yep.
so sick of hearing all this bullshit from men saying, when you find that strong woman and you see that strong woman, she doesn't have a lot of friends. And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't want friends, you know?
Yeah.
And you're looking at it from your perspective of not wanting you anymore. So you're saying she's
Mhm.
strong. Well, she was strong without that. She was strong before that. And I don't get where a lot of strong women, we don't have friends. It doesn't sound nice because I
No.
think a lot of strong women has a lot of great friends and they're usually strong like them. And they're going
Right.
to check them. They're going to keep you in check because they are your friend. And you know when they're pulling back and weaponizing what you share with them
Mm.
issue.
Mhm.
That's
I
when
do.
you make those decisions. But I'm just so sick of hearing it. Every time I turn on something, I'm hearing these guys, and I know they're being honest and they're saying things that they think are right.
Mhm.
When a woman gets quiet, she's about to do this or that. Well, I think maybe you should have a woman on your show and ask her
That's right.
those questions because it's not about being strong and not having that many friends. Yeah, I don't have that many close friends, like my ride or die or
Yeah.
my confidant who I tell everything to and you won't even tell your other half to. Every girl needs that. Every girl has that if, she's out here. Most girls
Agreed.
out don't have that.
Yeah.
Even if it's your gay husband, you have that. You have someone you talk to. So it's
Mhm.
it's a little interesting what's happening in the world today with just being authentic and unpacking your life. And I think we should check in frequently and unpack frequently. And then we wouldn't get to this one place where we have to just blow it all up
Yep.
because that's what I did. I blew up the house.
Me
So,
too.
and I don't ever want to have to do that again, but it happens.
It
It's
happens.
like I said, it's either at some point in time, it's either you or that other person, and you have to make that decision.
We all came here to learn what we came here to learn. We all attract the experiences that we need to learn from. And to your point with the strong woman, we're strong because we've had to become the women that we need to become to have the lives that we want to have. And that's come with boundaries, that's
Mhm.
come with self-respect,
Yes.
that's come with an opinion. And if you don't like that, I don't need to apologize for that.
Boldly, unapologetically. No.
And that comes with authenticity and saying my truth, speaking my truth from ownership. I'm not spilling that all over other people.
Right.
And I'm attracting other women who can hold our own because we've got work to do. We've got work to do, but a strong woman, a strong healed woman is not closed off.
That's right.
She just knows who belongs and who's deserving of being in her life and who
And who
doesn't.
disrupts our peace. You can feel that energy coming a mile away, and I love what you said. That is your non-negotiable. When I read that, I said, oh my God, that is so true. Because
Yeah.
once you find yourself and you realize you really love yourself, you are worthy of all of this.
Yeah.
Because people in your world, in your circle, so to speak, can often make you feel like you're not worthy or you don't belong here for some reason because you didn't come here or you didn't come from this or you didn't, you don't have the pedigree or whatever it may be.
Right.
But you're worthy of all of it, no matter if you have the pedigree or not. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And being authentic with it, unapologetically, and boldly speak your truth is totally non-negotiable. Al-
Non-negotiable.
Always.
Unstoppable.
And I think that's amazing. Now I listen to a lot of different women um, speak about being worthy and
Mhm.
mental awareness and who we are. And I loved what you said about your coaches and your mentors, how they allow you to mirror yourself. And I thought that was fantastic because it's true. Because some of the people that love you won't allow you to do that because they're not
No.
sure which way they're going to take your emotions and they don't want to step on things. They want to, creep quietly. But your mentors and your coaches are going to call you out on what you do and how you do
Mhm.
it, especially if you're supposed to be doing something different. And I
Agreed.
love it. I love that you said they allow me to mirror myself
Hmm.
and see what's wrong, see my faults, because most of the time, people that care about you don't.
Well, they love you. That's their job. That's their job to love you. And feedback is a craft. And
Mhm.
not everybody, you don't need feedback from everyone.
No, it's what
So
you consider the source.
that's right. That's right. That's right. I only ask my husband for feedback when I'm ready to hear the answer. And it's not always the feedback that I want.
Right.
And if it sticks, look at it. If it doesn't, a lot of feedback is projections too. So as a coach, as a trained coach, the reason I really dug into neurolinguistic programming is to realize that there's a difference between feedback and projection. And a lot of people offer feedback thinking that they're helping and they're just projecting their shit onto you.
Oh, so true. They say,
So,
why is your life so parallel to mine? Yeah, yeah,
right?
they do project things on you, and sometimes you'll see it, but then you won't. And then when you start thinking about things, you're like, wow, well, that's you're having the
Mhm.
same issues.
Yeah, right. I'm an advocate for finding safe people to surround yourself with, safe people who want you to win. I just posted something on this on social media today. Like, let's look for people who want you to win and who will give you feedback in that direction, not people who want to tear you down.
Absolutely, and they will tear you down. I always say envy comes in several shades. My envy is always blue. I never have a green envy. I can't even remember having green envy.
Mm,
And I think people are different. People are very different, especially friends. You have to just be careful because you don't know who's there for you or who's actually there against you.
mhm,
And it's not easy. I don't think it's very easy for strong women to make the kind of friends that they want in their lives. That's what I
mhm,
think. It's hard
mhm,
for us to find each other and be comfortable with sharing with each other.
mhm.
And I think that's the difficult part, more
That's
so
the
than it.
sister wound.
Yeah,
That's the sister wound.
yeah.
And I'm working actively in my world to heal that and teach other women how to heal that. And it comes with a strong sense of self, a strong sense of self, a strong sense of I can rely on myself. I'm safe. I'm okay. Doing the inner work to heal, and then attracting other women who are also on their own journey of that and creating some safety with each other. I'm so fortunate in Las Vegas specifically, but there's also this great community of women that I'm working with for the Take the Lead movement.
Mhm.
And we're attracting each other to say, let's level up our conversation and be there for each other, because it's the sisterhood that's going to heal the world.
No, I think 100%. It definitely won't be them. Those guys, I don't know what they're doing,
They've
but
done their best.
yeah, they have, and we've held them up, and I keep telling them, don't you guys understand? We bring you guys into this world, so you need to really relax and listen to what we have to say sometimes, because what
Mhm.
we have to say is valid. It's not always going to come from your buddies.
That's right.
That's why you're with us too.
That's
You know,
right.
you want a strong woman. Well, here we are. Let's have this conversation and try to merge together. I've only seen that a few times in my life. And when I have, I'm blown away by it. Because
Mm.
maybe that's when my envy gets a little green. I don't know. Maybe that's when it gets a little green. But for now, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I wanted to ask you, what role does unpacking your life play in your business and balance? You have your professional success, and then you have your personal fulfillment. How do you balance that out?
I don't believe in balance. Every day is different. What I do have is a solid vision and solid non negotiables. Along with that, I have solid priorities. People
Okay.
ask me, what are you up to? How are you? And I say, I'm great. My business is, well, my family got my relationship with God, and my family and my health are my top priorities. And right next to that is my business. My friends know that. My colleagues know that. People know that. So when they invite me to a girls' night out or a happy hour or some social function, if it
Mhm.
doesn't fit in alignment with my priorities, it's a no. My kids, I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old. My 16-year-old's a senior in high school next year. They're out of the house in a few years. I will prioritize my time around them. And I will
Fantastic.
prioritize that what I didn't do in my first marriage. So I learned everything I needed to learn to be in the second marriage. And in my second marriage, my husband is my priority and our marriage is a priority. So having clear priorities makes it a lot easier to say yes and no to things, and also to renegotiate with my family when something with business comes up. Hey guys, you're my priority and I need to be out of town for this. That doesn't mean I love you any less, but I'm going to go.
Nice.
And all my friends, they know. They're like, so we'll see you in January. I'm like, yeah, you'll see me in January because I'm moving. I'm making moves. I'm writing my second book. I'm on speaking circuits. I'm doing podcast interviews. I've got a ton of clients. My life is moving. My everything's elevating, and you support me or you don't. But if you don't support me, you're not going to see me.
If I don't see you for 2 years and we're friends, we pick up the phone and we pick up where we left off.
That's
And we
right.
could say, hey, so when am I going to see you? And that's it. Those are friends.
That's it.
Well, you're busy. And hopefully they're busy too,
Exactly.
with what they're doing. And when you get together, that's what makes it so wonderful. You never, ever, I don't know, friends that have problems when they don't see you and say things, crazy things to you. You're like, wait a minute.
You're out. Yeah, like I can't handle that.
Yeah, we don't have that. I mean, that's high school, first of all, and I'm busy. So, yeah, that's really interesting. I Most of the people I have asked that question to that are successful or on their way to success, pretty much I get the same answer.
Yeah.
There's no balance. There's a merging, and there's an understanding, but there's no balance. It merges.
Yeah.
You can't
I'm
do
not
all the other, I think,
I'm
family.
not interested in balancing other people's neediness. And I think that's the other piece of it, that I surround myself by people who have their own lives, even my kids. You get to have your own life. You get to have your own priorities. You get to have your own social network. You get to do things that matter to you and my husband as well. So I'm not interested in having to navigate or balance what you've got going on. I'll be there if I can be there, but you're your own person.
Mhm.
I'm my own person. Those are relationships that work.
They do work, and those are conversations that you have in the beginning.
Yes.
It's like an agreement. People, oh, well, marriage isn't a business. Well, it is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're in the business of making this work.
Yes.
That's the business part. Okay. So if you don't get that, then you're not in the right relationship because marriage is, you're in the business of making it work. And when it doesn't work, you have an understanding that this didn't happen.
Yep.
And we had a conversation. So when you really think about it in the terms of business, it is business. Friendships are business,
Agreed.
and people think they aren't. I don't understand why, but they do. With that being said, tell us about the three account personalities.
Okay, so there's the 5 money personalities,
Mhm.
and then based on what your money personality
Three account
is,
systems.
yes, right. So I don't teach a box approach to finance for this reason because every money personality has different needs and different wants. They operate differently. You and I are dreamers, big picture, visionaries, action takers. I need to be able to make decisions fast. I don't want to get into the weeds. I delegate that stuff. On the opposite side, we have our savers who tend to be really detail oriented. They get stuck in the details, very in the weeds when it comes to money and numbers. Their needs are different. But when it comes to the 3 account system, putting your money in different buckets for different purposes keeps people on the same page, keeps you on the same page. Because my husband and I both move fast, he's a spender, I'm a dreamer. We have an account for spending. Every single week, we put money in our spending account and we don't think twice about it. If we have money in there, we spend it. If we don't have money in there, we stop spending.
I
It's
love
that
it.
simple.
Yeah, we have a set system also, like for my agents. When I train them, when they come on board, I say to them, listen, when you go to your bank and they take your check, just have your check go straight to the bank and let them separate it. You need
Hmm.
to have I said, you need to have 3 to 5 different accounts, your
Yep.
taxes, your expenses, your fund. But and you need
Yes.
to do this, your marketing. You have to, 4
Yes.
accounts. Let your bank split up the money.
Boom, boom, boom.
They know to take the taxes out immediately. Then you don't, that's off your head. But if you go take that check, that whole check isn't yours. If you think that that check is yours, then you're terribly
You're
mistaken.
screwed. You're
Yeah.
screwed,
So when you,
especially as a real estate agent.
yeah, they spend the whole check. They don't have money for taxes. They don't realize that just because they got paid, $30,000 check, what happened up until you got paid? The
Nothing.
expenses. Right, nothing. The expenses, the going out to lunch, the courting the customers, to following up with the leads and
Gotcha.
taking them out. It's a lot of work. And I
Yep.
say to them all the time, you must understand how to separate this money. I said, or you're going to get yourself in trouble, especially when you get big money. That's something different. You hire the accountant that you can't afford because they're going to save you the money to pay them. Very simple.
True.
You know.
True. But if you in real estate agents also, yes, you have really big checks and really big months, but also there can be 1 or 2 months where you have no money
Yeah,
coming in.
nothing. Yes.
So you have to
That's why
learn
you
how
have
to.
to eat them good. You have to definitely be consistent and follow up. It's like any business, real estate. You're a people's person. You're out there, you're meeting, you're talking, and negotiation, of course, that comes into play. But
Hmm.
I think more so than anything in my business, you have to be a really good listener.
Hmm.
You have to understand people wants. And you have to explain to them, sit down with them, have a consultation with them and see where they are. Their back is up against the wall. Can they afford to do this? Can they move?
Hmm.
You have to be their pretty much their financial consultant. And it's not about just selling real estate and pretty houses. It's about finance.
Agreed.
This is the largest purchase anyone's going to ever make in their personal life. And they chose you to come along with them to keep them safe on this journey. And if you're not equipped enough to do that, or if you're not skilled enough as far as the negotiations is concerned, and as a good listener, you're going to miss the mark and you're
Yeah.
not going to get the job. Because every time you meet a customer or a client, as you could say, you're being interviewed. You're up for interview. So become a good actress.
Right.
Know your business. Like it's like know your lines. So that's what happens in business. So I totally understand that. And managing money in our business, so many. Oh, you could come to my company and speak to the whole 33,000 agents
I'll
because
be
so
there.
many rookies, like rookies really need someone like you
Agreed.
to start out. to understand how to measure their business, one, and then scale it, and then keep it.
Mhm.
That's the big part of it, keeping it, making
Mhm.
it a repeatable, duplicatable business. Whereas,
That's right.
yeah. So, and I don't think a lot of agents reach out to people like yourself. Like I saw your class. I said, I'm signing up for that class. I want to know exactly what's I am. When I saw it, I said, I 197. I said, okay. And then I happened to say, what 1997? Oh my God, I'm signing up right now. So I'm
Yeah.
being budget conscious too. I thought, what a great deal. You
Yeah.
know, what a great deal. I'm going to send that off to a couple of my friends because, and I have an agent starting under me. I'm going to ask her to join your class also
Amazing.
because it's affordable. It's smart to get some. I mean, I know they're not going to get everything from you, and hopefully they'll stay with you and grow because most of the young agents are really quick today. They move fast and they do make money fast,
Mhm.
and they need someone to help them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that would be great. Yeah, anything
Yeah.
you can send me that I can pop up and send to agents, I will do.
For sales, to your point, real estate is sales,
Right.
and you have to know how you sell versus how other people buy. And that's why I love the money personalities, because people assume that other people are going to buy just like they do. That's a projection. You have to get to know that you're going to be different from the people that you're selling to. And if you can know what their preferences are, what their needs are, you're going to be more successful in sales.
Right. Oh, 100%. And absolutely, what has just happened in our industry with NAR, now the sellers aren't paying the buyers
Yep.
commission. They can throw their hands up and say no.
Yep.
Some will still do it because they want agents to bring the traffic, but they're going to bring the traffic anyway once we have the fallout.
Yep.
But the buyer's agent has to really become a professional now. Not that they weren't, but they weren't taking it so serious. And to your point, when we're taught with my coach, we're taught the personalities of buying.
Mhm.
And if you're not taught it, you don't know it because you know you have your analytical. Oh my
Yep.
God, the analytical is the one you have to really be careful with because they're usually the savvy person,
Yep.
the financier or Wall Street person or someone that was in engineering and been around money all their lives. It's not their first pony ride. Those guys. So when you're taught about the personalities, you're taught that you have, the expressive, the analyst, the wizard. So you have to know these personalities. So when you're doing your prospecting or cold calling, when that phone picks up and you hear the voice of that person, 2 seconds later, you should know which personality you have.
Mhm.
And if you
Mhm.
don't know how to grab that call and start that conversation off, the next thing you're going to hear is click.
Yep.
And I'm a big prospector, so I know what it's like to be turned down a lot, but I know
Mhm.
what it's like to have the rainbows come out too.
That's the dreamer in you. You'll take the 1,000 no's to get to the 2 yeses.
Absolutely, because we're hard. We're gonna keep pushing,
Yep.
and people that dream, usually we dream big. So we have to work harder and we have to keep navigating through all the weeds until we see the light. And
Yep.
that's when we win.
That's it.
Most of the time, you can't give up. I don't know any other way. And that's how I was able to fight my way out of unpacking my life, you
Yep.
know? And it's
Yep.
not an easy thing to do because when you do unpack your life, you blow up your surroundings. It's not just about you, it's the people that, are in your life. And like you said, your family. And in my case, it was family, friends, and business. I just, and then just said, you know what? I'm not going to survive if I don't.
That's right.
And then I just said, okay, that's it. And now I'm smiling. I'm happier. And I get to speak to people like you and meet all these new, wonderful people. I found my voice in Unpack Your Life. It just came about.
Mhm.
I did have a podcast before this, and that was more entrepreneur targeted. It was more about from execution to excellence. Like, how did you execute everything you
Mhm.
had inside of you? So basically, it's the same thing, just different words, because I had to execute everything inside of me, where I had to wake up everything physically, mentally. I mean, financially, I had
Yeah.
to wake everything up to be strong enough. And a lot of those things had become dormant. I mean, like I'm 5'11", I'm almost 6 feet tall. I can't be 6 feet tall and 200 pounds, right? So
Yeah.
I had to wake everything up to pull it all together because along with that mental um, stress came physical uh, athleticism, so to speak. I worked out like a crazy woman.
Mhm.
That working out, that gave me the strength mentally and physically because I was doing things I hadn't done in a long time. I was a kid when I did these things. Now I'm a woman and I'm,
Yep.
over 50 and I'm pushing hard and I still got it. And
Good.
I'll tell you, once it was over, once I knew I was where I wanted to be physically again, I was ready.
Come on.
And it's the mental stableness of your mind and just quieting it everything. You have to
Agreed.
quiet yourself down because this can get so loud that it's
Mhm.
scary.
Mhm.
You know,
That's usually that's the first step when clients come to me. They're looking for a lot of people are looking for external validation. You're looking from answers from other people and other people to tell you what to do. But if you have the courage to get quiet, which is the whole conversation I'm having in my new book, get quiet, listen to yourself. That is where the answers are.
it is. It's like they said, with God, when you keep saying, "Oh God, help me, what am I doing? I'm all over the place." Be still. That's when he's telling us to be still and I
Yeah.
will come to you. But I can't when you're all over the place. You need to sit and be still and be quiet.
Yes.
And that's, I think, where the strength comes from, you know. And I realized that I want to also have a stronger relationship with God now that I'm on the other side of what I went through because
Mhm.
the whole time I was having these, daily meetings. And I need the strength. I don't know where I'm going to get it from, but I know it's there.
Yeah,
And he usually comes,
he does.
just when you
He
think it's
does.
the hardest. I think that was one of the hardest lessons for me, uh, just building up that strength and that faith in who I am, not who
I
I
love
was.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. I
So,
love that.
it's great to be able to meet women like yourself and a couple other women I have met and understand that those are the things that you speak about and teach other women. Those things have to be out here for us,
Yes.
you know,
It's our
because
time.
yeah, and especially women like you and I that are strong, it can be very lonely. And
Agreed.
we have to find women like ourselves to help support us because women that are not like us, they can't understand what we're going through. Because
Agreed.
other women would say to you, "Well, Lisa, what is $30,000 not enough for you? You ever need those women?"
It's not enough.
It's not enough because I make 35 and I think I'm making a lot. Do you understand me? You ever get into that kind of conversation? Not a good conversation.
Agreed. Agreed. And that's why I don't sell a box approach to personal finance because everybody's definition of success is different and that's fine, but my definition of success is going to look a lot bigger than other people. I'm good with that, but that means that I get to be somebody that I need to be in order to make that happen. And not everybody's going to get that and that's okay too.
Definitely. I agree with you. No, not everybody's gonna get that, and definitely not from me. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't have all that to give, you know?
No.
I still going on my journey. I just want it to be an amazing journey. If I can go around the world and talk about unpacking your life because I think it's very important. Uh, it's a choice of words that hit home because not everybody can do it. I'm blessed that I was able to do it at the time I did and financially fit at the
Yeah.
time because a lot of women can't do that,
Well,
and
that's
men
our job.
too.
That's
They
our job to get there.
yeah, there's children
Our
that
job.
could be involved. I don't have children. There could be a dog involved. You'd be surprised. People fight over dogs all the time.
They
So
sure do.
yeah, it's a really interesting concept though, because when I talk to other people, they have a different outcome on unpacking their lives, and I love listening to it. So, you know, how would you say unpacking your life has shaped you today?
Mm. I remember being a little girl staring out the window of my bedroom, dreaming of the person that I would become.
Wow.
I remember, not everybody's seen this movie, but the movie, it's a Disney movie, and it's of a little girl who becomes a warrior, a samurai warrior. And the song that Christina Aguilera sings is "When Will My Reflection Show Who I Am Inside?"
Wow.
And that little girl has been inside me my whole life. But it wasn't until I had the courage to unpack my life that I took the first step to becoming that woman, becoming the woman that I am today. And I'm so proud of that. And it has not been easy, and it has been so worth it. And so I would say to any woman who's on the verge, keep going. Keep going. Find other women who have done it themselves, glean from them. It is not pretty. Transformation is not a pretty process. It will not look good. And I've had mud on my face more than I can count, but it's been so worth it. And I keep going for that reason, because the little girl who had the dreams is waking up every single day living the life that I dreamed of. How cool is that?
Very, very.
Yeah.
I'm just getting there, so I get it. I'm gonna get there. It doesn't
You're,
matter.
you're on your way. You're
Oh
on
my
your way.
God! I mean, if I get to blow this house up, I'll blow it up. I'm
Yeah.
going. It's like
Yeah.
all for me, and that's wonderful. You said that to the audience. That if anybody, any woman or man, for that reason, needs to really unpack, they have to sit down and really own it. Own what belongs to them,
Yep.
which is self-worth, knowing that they're worthy and not feel so lack. A lot of people feel that there's a lot of lack in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, it could stem from so many different things. And they need our help with that because no one has to go without,
Agreed.
especially in this world, especially
Agreed.
here. So I totally agree with you. Lisa, it's been so lovely talking to you. I just
Thank
have
you.
one last question. Can you tell everybody, what does authenticity mean to you?
It's exactly as I described, being that little girl, doing the work to discover who you are, discover what your spiritual gifts are, discover what's going to make you happy, what's going to turn you on for life, discover what you're good at, discover what I always say, go look at your life at the end of your life. Envision what that's going to be like.
Okay.
And if there's ever going to be a regret, work toward those things. Work toward being the person that you were put on this earth to be. You're almost 6 foot tall. I'm 5 foot tall. I'm itty bitty. Someone told me I look like I'm 12 years old the other day. I was like, I'll take it. I'm 45, but I'll take it. And being authentic is having the courage to be who you are, to be the best version of yourself, to make the impact that you came onto this planet to make in any way that you see is the right way for you. That is authentic living, and making no exceptions or excuses for anything else.
As you said, you're non-negotiable. Staying authentic and true to yourself. Stay in
Yeah.
your word, in your light. It's been so good having you on here. I could talk to you all day.
Yeah.
We have deep things
Do
to
it
talk
again.
about. Off camera, though. But
Okay.
anyway, Lisa, I would love for you to tell everybody where they can find you, and
Sure.
tell them about your class that you have coming up, because they all should join it.
Great.
I get with this because she's going to teach you how to keep your money or keep
Yeah.
more. Uh,
Yeah.
so let people know where they can find you.
Great. So the easiest way to plug into my world is on Instagram, which is at Savvy Money with Lisa. I also have a presence on TikTok under Lisa Chastain, or just go to my website, lisachastain.com. That's where you can take the money personality quiz for free. I have the money personality course. I also have a money glow up. If you really want to get a handle on your finances, the money glow up bundle is perfect for you. And if you want to work with me, I have a 90-day boot camp that I'm launching next year. Come and hang out with me for 90 days, do the work so that you can have everything you want in your life.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing she said was, do the work. If you guys don't do the work, nothing happens. Same
That's
thing
it.
in real estate. You don't show up, nothing happens. Be consistent, follow up, and do the work, and you will have the life you want.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I can't wait to talk to you again. I'm going to be in your class. And listen, guys, we'll get back to you guys. Have a good day, guys, and we'll see you the next time on Unpack Your Life. Thank you for joining us, and thank you again, Lisa.